The following podcast is recorded and produced by Emerge, a media creators co-op.
Not getting sound.
It was illegal and the person responsible went to prison. But what I'm about to show you isn't illegal. That's what makes this so much worse. What you're about to witness is a calculated move exploiting crypto's huge legal gray area, which once again has us retail holders coming in last place. In today's video, I'm going to give you the on-chain data. I've got the deleted tweets, I have the internal documents. And by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly how insiders printed billions of dollars out of thin air and legally walked away with the cash, leaving 85,000 retail holders, well, holding the bag. This went too far, even for crypto.
Chicken Al Pastor is back at Chipotle, where fire meets flavor, where heat meets pineapple.
In the fall of 2024, the President of the United States launched a crypto project. He didn't endorse one. He didn't tweet about it. He literally launched one with his sons on the team's page. It was called World Liberty Financial, and on paper, it promised to be the bridge between traditional finance and DeFi, the future of finance, as they called it. So as you might imagine, retail investors poured in. In total, the ICO pre-sales raised about $550 million across 2 rounds, and the total funding came in to $1.2 billion. Oh, and by the time this story's over, you'll understand exactly where some of that cash has unfortunately gone. So while retail wallets were buying the future of crypto's decentralized finance dream, how many times have we been told that? The fine print told a very different story. Unbeknownst to most crypto investors, the project published a document called the Gold Paper. Buried inside is a revenue split that tells you everything you need to know about what this project was actually designed to do. Hold your breath for this. 75% of all net protocol revenue routes directly to a single entity, DT Marks DeFi LLC. Now, who owns DT Marks DeFi LLC? Well, Donald Trump owns 70% and his family owns the remaining 30%. Now, I think this is an important time in the video to mention none of this is about to get political. I couldn't care two less about politics, let alone politics in a completely different country. So look, on top of the fact that DT Marks DeFi LLC is majority owned by Donald Trump, on top of that, the Gold Paper also allocated 22.5 billion World Liberty Finance tokens, which is around almost 23% of the entire supply, directly to that same entity. So retail is essentially funding this entire platform, but the platform funds the Trump family directly. At least that's what the paperwork is telling us. And by the way, none of this was hidden. It was all on paper, black and white. Most people just, of course, didn't read that gold paper. And then the token started to die. Slowly at first, but then it picked up speed, as most altcoins did, and it dropped to near all-time lows recently. But the insiders weren't panicking because they had already built an exit door into the system that nobody knew existed. And on April 9th, as of a few days ago, they walked through that door. Now, this is where it gets a little bit technical, so please stay with me because once you understand what happened here, you'll probably never look at DeFi the same way again for your benefit. On April 9th, a World Liberty Finance project wallet deposited approximately 5 billion WLFI governance tokens into a DeFi lending protocol called Dolomite. Now, Dolomite was actually co-founded by a man named Corey Kaplan. Corey Kaplan is also, by chance, a strategic advisor to World Liberty Financial. So the borrower and the platform are now directly connected. Now, just for some perspective, in traditional finance, a related party transaction of this magnitude would require mandatory disclosure and independent oversight. But in DeFi, in crypto's land, there is no such requirements. Once the 5 billion tokens were deposited into Dolomite, the World Liberty Finance team used them as collateral to borrow approximately $75 million in stablecoins, $65.4 million in their own stablecoin USD1, and $10.3 million in USDC. So I want you guys to think about the gravity of what this actually means and what has just happened here. The World Liberty Finance, or WLFI tokens, well, they're actually governance tokens. Now, most governance tokens like Uniswap's Unitoken or Compound's Comp or even Aave's Aave token, well, you can buy and sell freely on exchanges. They are liquid and they are transferable, but World Liberty's Finance's token is actually locked. You're not supposed to be able to sell these tokens, and you can't even send them to another wallet. The team designed it that way to prevent people dumping the token. But in reality, it just simply means that they forced retail to not be able to sell. Except, well, there's a loophole. You see, through what I've just explained to you, WLFI can be used as collateral on approved DeFi platforms, and that's exactly what the team exploited here. Because the World Liberty Finance team controls about 97.8% of the WLFI lending cap on Dolomite, they effectively control the liquidity. And here's how just massive that is. Their deposit on Dolomite now makes up more than half of Dolomite's entire platform. They can't be easily liquidated because there is no one else in the pool large enough to trigger it. So what's essentially happened here in plain English? Well, they've printed collateral. They chose the platform that their advisor built, and they walked away with $75 million in hard liquid cash. And do you want to know the shocking part about all this? Here's what that's done to everyone else on the platform. Pool utilization hit 100%. Now, in English and not nerd talk, that means that every other person who deposited stablecoins to earn yield can't withdraw. Their money is now locked. Well, it would be bad, but I'm sure we've seen worse days. Now, look, if it stopped there, well, it would already be one of the most brazen moves in crypto history, but oh boy, it didn't. Within hours of the borrow, over $40 million of those funds were transferred to Coinbase Prime, which is an institutional platform currency. And that transfer happened, believe it or not, just hours before President Trump announced a US-Iran ceasefire. And the man who was negotiating that ceasefire, well, his name was Steve Witkoff. The same Steve Witkoff listed as a co-founder emeritus of World Liberty Financial. So this is the moment, in my opinion, where it definitely went above and beyond, way too far, even for crypto standards. Printing tokens as collateral is aggressive, and borrowing against them on a platform your own advisor built is more than brazen. But moving $40 million to a fiat off-ramp hours before a geopolitical announcement that your own co-founder was negotiating, well, that's an entirely different category. Now, to be fair in all of this, World Liberty Financial has dismissed these concerns publicly, but the on-chain timestamps just don't lie, and the timeline speaks for itself. Hours after the borrow was executed, the token dropped as much as 15% to record lows, and then the dirty trail cleanup began. Apparently, Eric Trump started quietly deleting his World Liberty Finance-related tweets. And then the website was quietly scrubbed. During the pre-sale, the Trump family were displayed as the founding team, but now their titles have been softened. Eric and Donald Trump Jr. are now Web3 ambassadors, and Barron, a college freshman, is a DeFi visionary. So here's the thing you need to be thinking about right now. Is this really about one DeFi project, or is this more about what happens when the most powerful people in the world have access to decentralized financial infrastructure with zero regulatory oversight? If any public company CEO borrowed $75 million from a platform co-founded by its own advisor using self-printed tokens as collateral and then moved $40 million to a fiat off-ramp hours before a market-moving geopolitical announcement, there would be congressional hearings. There would be SEC investigations, and people would likely even end up going to prison. But in DeFi, there is no such mechanism. This is not about left or right. Guys, this is not political at all. The facts are the facts. This is about whether the rules of finance apply equally to everyone, because right now they clearly do not. We, retail, got screwed. And I feel very sorry for those 85,000 people. If you are holding any token where the insiders control the supply, the revenue split, and the lending infrastructure, you've got to ask yourself one question. Are you an investor, or are you the exit liquidity? If the president's own crypto project can do this to over 85,000 people in broad daylight, imagine what the ones you've never even heard of are doing. This went too far, even for crypto. Guys, in amongst the horrible news today, if you appreciate the brutal honesty and want to know where the smart money is actually flowing, hit subscribe. I hope you liked the video, and if you have, drop me a like down below. I'll keep tracking this as the news pops up, so you guys don't have to. Stay safe.
Welcome to the Defion Productions podcast. I'm your host, the hardest working nobody in Bitcoin, Don, and that was a video to get things kicked off today to start our conversation in regards to the Trump administration, MAGA, all the crypto news in regards to world financial liberty that dropped over the weekend, Justin Sun's tweets, and more. We have a special guest. We got StreamYarding in. Marty Skuce, who I go way back with, went to high school with. He's a political guy. He knows his stuff. We were going back and forth this week on Facebook talking about some political stuff, and I thought it'd be a great idea to have him on. We do agree mostly on many things, but there is one issue that we do fundamentally disagree on that we're going to get into at some point. Marty, you were in the background watching that video. What are your thoughts? Is that's the first time you've seen it? What did you think seeing that that breakdown of the Trump family and that crypto token?
That was my first time seeing it. I had heard just this morning actually about some of the stuff happening. I forget his name already again, the young dude or whatever, the one that had his stuff frozen. It's scary that like this is the world that we're living in now, where everything, it seems, is so easily corruptible. And it's not even like it's just corruptible. It seems to be like it's their plan. Like, I don't think there was any issue about, not issue. This was their plan going forward from the beginning, I believe. And I'm just hearing about it. Like, this is all pretty new to me. And like, I'm a Trump investor. I don't believe it was this coin that I'm in, but I'll have to look at some point in time. I know it's horrible that I don't even know all what I'm invested in at this point in time, but I'm invested in Trump, and I'm probably never going to get that money back.
Let's share with the viewers a little bit of your history with Trump in regards to supporting him. 2016 supporter, 2020 supporter, 2024 supporter. Is that fair to say?
Before it was cool to support Trump, I have openly supported him. I've had conversations on my boats with politicians about supporting him before it was cool. Yeah, like, okay. So yeah, I've supported him for quite some time, and well, I think like a lot of us now, we're feeling betrayed. What this is not what I voted for.
Yeah, what is it specifically? So you 2016, 2020, 2024, you're supporting Trump. This last 2024, he made a lot of promises. What are some of the things that he promised leading up to 24 that you feel like betrayed on? What are some of the specific issues?
For me personally, I know this is something that is totally off topic. But what's started opening my eyes to what was really going on is when, for no reason during their vote for the budget, they snuck in an anti-hemp marijuana stuff. And that was the first thing. And then, my eyes started opening when he just renamed the Gulf. then we go into Venezuela. Yeah, like I have a bumper sticker on the back of my trunk, Gulf of America, like that's how, like, fuck it, I'm going, like, woo, took the boat, everything, literally in the Gulf. But that's like none of that is what we voted for. Like, nothing that he's done so far is anything that I ever recall being campaigned on.
he campaigned specifically, now correct me if I'm wrong, specifically on no new wars, right? That was a campaign promise.
I believe I heard that numerous times.
Would this constitute what's happening currently in the last I think this is day 45 of this conflict, or whatever you want to call it. Would this constitute no new wars, or am I missing something?
No, I don't. I think that you're missing anything. I think that we can call this what we like, but we're at war. Like, I consider this war. We're Americans have died. Like, I'm not a Hamas supporter. I'm not an Iran supporter. Like, I'm an American. Like, I support America.
So America first is, make America great again. America first. America first was supposed to be something different than what we've been doing for the last four administrations. Yet the last 3 or 4 administrations have spent significant amounts of time in the Middle East. And here we are again in the Middle East. So how are we putting America first? How are we making America great again if we're once again involved in something in the Middle East? Like, my question is, like, when does this stop, or does it?
Well, as of right now, I don't think that it does. And that comes into, which we can get into that later, voting. Admit when we're wrong. Like, I'm wrong. I was wrong. I voted for him. But not this.
We can jump right into the voting conversation now if you want. We can get right into that, because I've said on this podcast many times, and we talked about it this week as well, that I think what's happened in the last month and a half only solidifies my position in regards to voting not mattering in the grand scheme of monetary policy, which is what this podcast is about, and foreign policy. Because, like you said, we, or you guys who voted, didn't vote for what you got, which is another new war, which is putting other countries' interests before the interests of American politics. And for me, I'll lay out my side of why I believe that voting is just inconsequential, outside of just the fact that it is an American right. You can exercise that right. All that stuff is great. But believing that your vote actually means something is kind of where I come from. I don't say you shouldn't vote or voting's bad, because people can do what they want. It's a free country. If you feel like you want to exercise your vote, great. Where I stand is that voting, the actual voting, doesn't really do anything in the grand scheme, because, and I talked about this earlier in the week with you, going back and forth, the amount of money that it takes to run an election in the United States of America post 1971, we got off the gold standard, and definitely past 2008, takes so much donations and the ability for people to be giving to these campaigns, that a byproduct of that is these people are making promises that don't benefit the American people. It benefits the elite class that have the money to donate to these organizations and these PACs. And then it ends up being that our politicians become compromised, and it's not the individuals that are voting collectively that get their needs met. It's whoever's donating is getting their needs met. So yes, you can vote and feel like that you're having some sort of, outcome in the election being swayed. But at the end of the day, what we really care about is the issues. And the issues are not our issues. It's the issues of the elite. Before you answer and respond, Rich, can you toss this up on the screen? I want Marty to be able to see this. So this is U.S. Congress members funded by the pro-Israel lobbying group AIPAC. They are highlighted in red. 324 of the 435 got donations from AIPAC, which is funded by Israel. So, we talk about MAGA, Make America Great Again, and America First, yet we have so many of our politicians, both sides, this is not just Republican, this is Republican and Democrat, are getting so much money from an organization funded from another country, putting their interests ahead of American interests. So when you go out and vote, yes, you're voting, you're casting a vote, and you're making what you think is change. But at the end of the day, these people have to answer to the people that are funding these multi-million-dollar in hundreds of millions of dollars when you get to the level of president, and they have to answer to that. Your counter.
You're 100% right on that. That aspect we 100% agree on. Where I'm glad you went there. Actually, like this wasn't pre-discussed. This is great. We need to start there and get all money like that out of government, out of elections. And I believe more importantly, that one in particular, APAC. And for those that don't know, there are many other ones too. It's just not APAC.
Mm-hmm.
Like right now I'm here in the South and I do like, well, Mark, what's his Mark Lynch, his her, I forget her name, but her, she's messaging me. I pulled my support. He claims he doesn't take APAC money, but it's still a simp to Israel. He's running against Lindsey Graham right now here, which is the swamp.
Oh God, yeah, he's
Like
the captain of the neocons.
He 100%. And so your point on that is 100% true. And I think that's where we need to start, is getting that money out. And I believe the last president that really spoke about that was Kennedy. And, in my opinion, they killed him for it.
And it wasn't even anywhere near as bad as it is today back then.
And that's it. So, and that's where I come in with it, is we have to vote, and these people running have to be willing, like Green to stand up. Massey, stand up, say what they have to say, fight for us. And if they get kicked out, they get kicked out, and that is going to awaken more people. And like, I believe when we were going back and forth, like I accredit, maybe 30% diehard MAGA, and I think I'm being very liberal on that number, and then maybe like 30% diehard Democrat, which again I think I'm being pretty liberal on that number too. But that leaves us in the middle to vote. And if they don't do what we say, if they are taking that APAC money or any large donations, then we don't vote for them again. And we need people like you to vote, because if I'm by myself in that 40% that will vote against Lindsey Graham down here in South Carolina, I'm outnumbered, because he's not he'll get crushed by a Democrat if without MAGA.
But here's the problem. You vote out Lindsey Graham, there's another one right behind him.
Well, that's it. His name is Mark Lynch, and
he gets put in place by those same donor class.
And the Lynch claims to not take Israel money, but I'm here. I was supporting him. If you scroll through my Facebook page, I was like, all right, he's going to be the new guy. And then he's all like, we need to die for Israel. Like, wait, like, just because you don't take APAC money doesn't mean that you're not supporting them. And it's not, for me, again, I think I have to say it out there. I'm not an anti-Semite. Like, I know from my page that people from the Jewish community are going to watch this. They, like, I've talked to them. Most of them do not support this stuff either. Like, before communication was cut out of Israel. They were protesting in the streets against Bibi.
So as you were talking, I did an AI search really quick, looking for other pro-Israel lobbies outside of just AIPAC. So there's no single number for pro-Israel lobbies, as they comprise a network of dozens of organizations, PACs, and think tanks with diverse viewpoints rather than a monolithic entity. Major lobbying groups include AIPAC, Christians United for Israel, J Street, and the Zionist Organization of America, with open secrets highlighting several others. Key Israel lobbying entities and influence: AIPAC, known to be the most prominent group focusing on bipartisan lobbying. So they do both sides.
Both sides.
USA, Israel relations. Christians United for Israel, a large influential group with a major Christian base, often considered a significant pro-Israel lobby. J Street, a group lobbying for pro-Israel, pro-peace policies, supporting a two-state solution. Other influential groups include the Republican Jewish Coalition, NORPAC, the Zionist Organization of America. There's so many of them. There's dozens and dozens of them. So they can say they don't take AIPAC money and not be lying. And then there's there's a ton of other ones that are being funneled through. So see, here's the problem. Here's the problem with your theory. You're right. Like, more people can vote and get an individual or an entity out of office. But the core problem is, we're so deep into this now, the people responsible for changing how we do things are the very people we're voting for. The people that are in office currently legislating, that are making sick amounts of money, not just the Nancy Pelosi's. Like, there was a congressman the other day, I was laughing. He was like, you think Nancy Pelosi's just the tip of the iceberg? He's like, I can rattle off 10 names that are making more money than Nancy Pelosi on both sides of the aisle. So they're making so much goddamn money that why would they ever vote against that? They're highly incentivized to keep this money train going. So we can vote. We can go and poll on every 4 years on November 4th and get another new person in. But that new person that we're getting in is going to come in as a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're going to talk the game. They're going to say they're going to make change. They're going to hit Washington. They're going to be lobbied hard as hell. And then they're just going to continue the same thing over and over and over again. It doesn't change. I think, my personal opinion is, we've completely passed the point of no return. Absolutely completely past the point of no return.
So if that's the case, what do we do? What's your forward, like, Bitcoin?
Yep. Owning Bitcoin. That's the opt-out. And I know we don't have enough time to go through the entire thing. And I have a library of content that people can watch to kind of get the whole breakdown. But if I give you the TLDR, basically Bitcoin represents an asset that has scarcity, an asset that doesn't have central control, an asset that allows me to be self-sovereign. It allows me the ability to outpace inflation that is built into every single other asset, the dollar, equities, your house, like all these other things that are tied to the centralized system. The only way to opt out is to have something like Bitcoin, or on a slower scale, gold and silver, to opt out of this centralized system that's just going to erode your buying power, your time and energy away. And there's nothing you can do to change. The system is what it is. It's all these things that we complain about are not bugs, bro. They're the feature. They are, the system is doing exactly what it's been created to do. And we fight against it, and you're fighting against the machine that's never going to break. This is what it's designed to do. So the only way to fight against is to completely opt out from playing the game entirely. Now, on a macro scale, you can't. You still have to pay things in fiat. You still have to, on some level, engage in the fiat system. But to save your time and energy, I'm saving mine in Bitcoin. And I know you do too. I know you own some Bitcoin as well. So
we can touch back on that, but like the sovereign stuff, like, yeah, if you look in the background there, you can't see any. I don't know where they are. Oh, there's one. I don't know how to work my camera. There's some chickens up there. Them are solar panels. I try to hit it from all angles. Like, once it's my money, I want to keep it. I don't want to pay taxes. I try hard. I'll admit it. I try hard not to. Like, very,
Same.
them solar panels. the government gave me half my money back for them. I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad that anybody took advantage of that, because for me, as a Republican, it's not about going green or saving the planet. Like, it's about saving money. Like, that's my money. I don't want to be taxed on it again.
So let me ask you a fundamental constitutional question. Do you believe in taxation without representation?
I believe we are living in taxation without representation right now. And that's why, like, I believe we have to vote.
But we get back to the same problem in the same place when you
it'll have to be like short terms. Like, Massey's probably gonna lose. Lindsey Graham's probably gonna win. So I agree. Right now, we are fucked. Like, I'm with you on going forward.
The keys to term limits are the ones that are currently in office. Again, these people are not going to vote against their own self-interest.
And what I run into is the people that I believe would stay true to their word. Even some of them that I know in politics,
the minority,
they don't want to go forward. Or, like you, I believe you would be great in politics, but you have absolutely no interest in it. Like, I don't think that I don't think that you would stray. I think that you would do exactly.
Somebody like me would never make it, because I would never be able to get enough of a coalition going, because I would have to shake hands with people that I absolutely despise. I would have to make alliances and friendships with people that have money that are terrible people. I would have to coordinate with the Epstein class. Like the Epstein class. I mean, I know it's a funny saying, but like, there's truth to it. The Epstein class, the people considered to be elite, they're the ones that have all the control, the power, and the money, and they have the keys to the kingdom. And we can't change that. Well, the only way to change is to absolutely, like, I have a complete civil war and try to, like, do a January, and I'm not saying to do this, and I'm not advocating for it. I'm saying a January 6th to the 100th power, where we literally take over every single building, which I'm not advocating for, nor should we ever do that. It's absolutely insane. But I'm saying that's the level of insanity that would be needed to change anything. And anything less than that is going to be the same thing every couple of years, every 4 years. I will stand 10 toes down on this. We have passed the point of no return on this. 2008 was it. Once we did what we did in 2008, we made our bed. Like, that's where we're at now.
And again, with you, I'm not suggesting, invoking, but it probably will take January 6th type of thing. And with the unity that we touched on before, the younger class is pissed. Like, I have kids.
They don't vote either.
That's it. They don't vote. And that's why I believe we have to, because once they see it from a way earlier age than what we're seeing it from, that their vote doesn't matter, then they like it. And it doesn't have to be violent. Like, I've seen how many times people talking about stop paying taxes. What I will invoke, if you really want to hurt them and you pay taxes, go on your W-2s or whatever they are, and put in zero. I don't remember the exact number or whatever, like, so that you pay in the minimal amount. And yeah, you're going to get hit at the end if you decide to pay them. We're depending on where we're at with the country, but we can hit them non-violently. Like, if they don't have our money, what are they going to do?
Print. That's all. They don't need our money. That's the point. They just print it.
Well, but that also, just by printing it, that's going to hurt them too in the long run, unless they have the gold, the Bitcoin.
No, that's not true. Though they're the people that are closest to them. It's the Cantillon effect. The people closest to the money printer, inflation affects us regular people immensely. The people in that elite class, inflation inflates their asset prices so they can print money to infinity. Their assets just keep going up and they outpace the inflation because they own all the assets. They don't give a shit. We can stop paying taxes tomorrow and it wouldn't fucking matter. They're going to make more money, print more money, and their assets are still going to fly. And we're going to be stuck with the bills. We're going to be stuck with the situations that are grim. Like, again, if I don't know what we would do without
Bitcoin. See, I still have Bitcoin probably because of you. So I will say that, like, I don't know if you remember or not. I almost sold it right before it hit 100. So I did get to ride that wave. That was like, I'm actually just thinking about that. That was a very nice time. Like,
yeah.
But like, I believe that they're manipulating that though too. Like that $9 billion sale or whatever it was, like that was one of them, in my opinion, that had that much from that long.
There's been a lot of Bitcoin whales that have been selling this cycle, and they definitely sold around the 100K price point. But those are OG Bitcoiners that were original cypherpunks, and they just wanted to cash out and increase their lifestyle, which is fine. And the way the asset is created with only 21 million, they can do that. And we can have short-term price fluctuations. But like I was telling you this week when we were going back and forth on Facebook in that message thread, is you can't manipulate something long-term. You can manipulate short-term, but with a finite asset, which even people that are in power, the elite class, do not understand completely something like this, because every other asset that they can manipulate, they can just make more of it. They can make more equity in stocks. God knows how much gold, even as good as gold and silver are, God knows how much of it there is out there. We don't even know if Fort Knox is empty or has
Fort Knox is empty.
But we still, like, we don't know.
Like,
we can't
that's
verify
my belief
it.
anyway. No,
we can't verify it. Like,
that was another thing. Remember,
we can't verify.
We were supposed to get that audit too.
Yep. Elon Musk was supposed to eliminate our national debt, and he found 150 billion, which is nothing. It's like money underneath the couch cover.
And then walked in with a black eye.
I mean, it's just we're in a time period, we're in a timeline right now where it's frustrating to somebody like me who does this podcast weekly, who's been in Bitcoin for as long as I have, where it's like smacking people in the face about how corrupt the system is. And people have been screaming for a decade that Bitcoin's a scam. The dollar system is the biggest scam ever created. Post 1971 fiat off the gold standard, and then 2008 till now, is the largest fraudulent scam in history, hands down. 2008 showed it to us. And if you weren't paying attention in 2008, 2020 smacked you right on the forehead with it. And if you can't see it by then, I don't know what to tell people. Like, I don't know what it's going to take. And now you have a president who promised all these things and is completely doing the opposite, because that's how the system operates. And if people can't see that, I don't know what to tell them, Marty. I don't know at this point.
In 2008, the housing market right now is worse than it was in 2008. So, like, there might be another burst on that too. And if it happens again, it'll probably be deeper. I don't think it'll just stop at
they print, bro. Like they learned 2008, they turned on the printers and they just got addicted. And that's why the recession wasn't as deep as it should have been. That's why we didn't get the reset we should have got in 2008. That's why 2020, we had a 2-month recession from March until May. And then everything ripped when they just gave everybody dollars and flooded the economy with money. Like, they got the printers, bro. Like, no matter what, any crisis is going to be just throwing money. They're going to throw money at any crisis. They're going to keep inflating the buying power of the dollar away. Rich, you want to throw the screen up real quick? I got this right here. M2 money supply since 2008 has tripled. The purchasing power of the dollar since 2008 is down 38%. If you had 100 grand in 2008, you got 62,000 of buying power today. And it's just like, it's on the Fed's website. They're not even hiding it. You can see it. You can see all the shitty stats right on the Fed website for anybody that wants to look. But here's the thing, Marty. Here's the scary part. People don't care. They don't want to look. They don't even want to know. They want to go to the gas pump and complain that gas is $4.20, or if you're in California, God bless the people in California, it's like $5.50 or whatever the hell it is. It's $6. People complain at the gas pump, but they don't want to. They don't want to know what the solution is. They just take it. I mean, I'm losing faith in humanity, Marty. I don't know. I guess that's kind of where I'm getting at.
Yeah, I do. I do think a lot of people just want to be told what to do.
2020 COVID definitely showed us that. In a snap of fingers, people just listen to whatever the government tells them.
And, you know, like, that is where I really started waking up to like, me following stuff how I do. Like, I saw it happening in Italy and coming over here. Like, I remember having conversations with my wife, like, yo, they're going to shut down school, and being like, good with it. Like, cool, you know, like 2 weeks to slow the curve. Like, I bought it, you know, like.
I don't want to beat a dead horse, and I don't want to do like victory laps and shit, but like 2020 was when I turned on Trump, because everybody gives Biden so much shit, and rightfully so. I'm not going to defend Joe Biden. He was a terrible president. His monetary policies were awful. He did many things that were bad, but blaming Joe Biden solely for the inflation problem that we experienced in 2022 is just flat out not factual. Donald J. Trump started the inflation problem. He was responsible for 2 of the 3 major stimulus packages. He kickstarted all the inflation problems, and Biden fanned the fire. But Trump started it. So when Trump was coming around for 24 and everybody was happy, I was filming episodes in the summer of 24, and I was sitting in this room with I had guys with MAGA hats on. They were pro-Trump. They were loving it. And I was like, this dude is a fraud. He's a grifter. He's selling you a bag of bullshit. And I've stood on that since then, and he's only proven me correctly. I've been calling it. And again, I was late. I liked Trump in 2016, 2017, 2018. Kind of got lukewarm on 19, but COVID I flipped on him, and I've been calling him out ever since he took the presidency over, and he's done nothing but shown me to be absolutely correct. And I've been saying if there's a Hall of Fame for grifters, he's a first ballot Hall of Famer.
Yeah, we spoke briefly about it before. I won't drop his name, but my Democrat New York City neighbor came over today, said that his family had some business with the Trump family back in the 80s, 90s, doing some irrigation work, and he stiffed them. Never paid them.
There's a lot of stories out there of that. It's from the 80s and 90s. That's not uncommon. And that was before he took like, those were stories that everybody was like, oh, the Democrats just hate Trump, and it's FUD, it's fake news. And it's like, you know, one of the things that Trump did is, and I don't necessarily think this is a good thing. He put so much distrust in media. And again, a lot of the media has been not good actors, but there are good media out there. But he created the fake news to such a high degree that now I have friends, good friends, and maybe one of them is watching it right now. I'll pump something into AI and they don't trust it. They don't trust anything they see online. 100% of it is fake. So then I ask them, if what I'm showing you is fake, where are you getting your information from? If mine is fake, where are you finding yours that's not fake? Because Trump has created this idea that everything is fake. Something has to be real. So, like, where do you find the real stuff?
Yeah, I've asked repeatedly, if I'm wrong, where's the right stuff?
Exactly.
And it doesn't come. I'm just like you probably see, like, I got TDS now. What happened to me? Am I
People have been
okay in
calling me
the
liberal.
head?
People have been calling me liberal for 6 years, Marty.
Yeah,
I'm more
now
fiscal
I'm a
conservative
Democrat
than
too.
I'm more fiscal conservative than 95% of people that consider themselves to be fiscal conservatives. I'm more fiscal conservative than 95% of them, and I've had almost 100% of them call me liberal because of how I view Trump and how I view the MAGA movement from the last 6 years.
And it, like, for me, like, I know personally, it's not most of them. Like, I'm in the South. Like, the conversations that I have with everyday real people, MAGA, is they're not happy. Like, the politics and stuff might not have, like, the voting, like, we're gonna get crushed, I believe, come
Oh my God, the
come
midterms are going to be a
midterms.
massacre. The midterms are
Uh,
going to be a massacre.
and
An
they're gonna
absolute
blame it
massacre.
on us. Like, I'm about to get blamed
Oh, for
for
sure.
what he did, what he's doing. Like, yeah,
I mean, Tucker Carlson, Candace Owens, Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, the list goes on.
the
And Nick
real MAGA.
Fuentes, the people that propped up the movement. And if you want to really be like really technical, the people that are closest to Trump right now were never Trumpers in 2016. The Marco
Never,
Rubios, the Lindsey Grahams, like the
never
people that he's
Trumpers.
surrounding himself with now hated him in 2016. And
Um,
they turned him into what they wanted him to be, and the people that hated the neocons are now on the outside looking in. And
what?
again, I want to make a point really quick about Marjorie Taylor Greene, because you talk about voting. Like, Marjorie Taylor Greene got pushed out by Trump and the donor class because the people that are funding these elections were not going to fund her election, and she had no chance of getting reelected, so she had to walk away. It didn't matter how many people wanted to vote for her; all the money was going to go the other way, and she wasn't going to get reelected. And that's where I'm saying, like, the money is more important than the people that show up to the polls.
I believe she had something going on with her construction company that was going to get outed. I think she had some maybe illegal Mexican workers that they knew about.
I don't know. I'm not sure. She goes hard at Trump. Maybe there's some truth to that. I can't speak one way or another.
No, there was some shit that I had heard. I had never fact checked it, verified it. Really don't care too much about it. But yeah, I think they pushed her out. They didn't even wait for her to be beat.
No.
Like, they're trying to beat Massey and Paul. Like, they just literally pushed her out. And I think they had something. I think they have something on her. I don't know if it's big enough to get her to stop, because she is coming. Like,
Well, the
Melina.
other thing is too, it doesn't even have to be real, Marty.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't.
They can just say that we're going to come at you, and we're going to come, and that's the point I'm trying to make. The big money can create a narrative where the truth is irrelevant because enough people believe it.
I think the Tates showed that they can be beat. Like, I took a lot of shit over the years for supporting the Tates as well. They've beat the Matrix. According to them, you have 3 lives. You get kicked off of social media, thrown into jail, and then they kill you. They've beat their charges. Like, I think it's more than clear now that, they were just in Miami with Trump at the fight.
Did you
they're
see
not.
Did you see him get absolutely booed by
Booed.
that crowd?
Did you
UFC
see the
crowd
post that I made about the days before that he can't even go to a UFC fight? He'll get booed out. Did he get booed out? No. They turned up the music.
Yeah, I mean, that's bad. He typically UFC fights, he gets supported.
Oh my God.
He's been I don't, man, that, like, the amount of like tone deafness to what's happening with his movement at this point is just. And did you see that nonsensical, like, not to mention, like, the Easter tweet was garbage, and then, like, he was going at the Pope this morning. Like, You're in the middle of a war and you're worried about what the Pope is literally the guy of peace. His brand is literally don't kill people. So to get mad at him and say he's not tough on crime and his foreign policy is terrible, he's the Pope. He's supposed to be against war and like what the levels of just like retardation of this timeline that we're in is just mind-boggling.
It is, and like we need to do something. Like if it's buy Bitcoin, which I promote it. Buy Bitcoin. I love gold and silver. Whatever it is, don't save dollars. I get like
melting ice cube. Dollars.
It is like me personally, my bank account zero. I try to keep it as close to zero as possible. And if I need something, well, I understand the system. I love getting freaking 0% credit cards. Love it. I'm paying 0%. Pay it off. Or sell some Bitcoin, which I haven't. Yeah, right. I haven't done that.
Podcast.
You're right. I don't really sell much. I forgot until today that I own some stock in something Donald Trump. Something I don't even remember what it was. I'm gonna look now though.
I mean, that's in that video. I kind of highlighted it. Like 85,000 retail investors had a piece of that Trump token because they were part of the base and they bought into the dream, and he profited and capitalized off it. And I really think maybe it's because of how hard they went after him while he wasn't president, that he was laser focused on coming in and just making as much freaking money for him and his family as he possibly could. And if a byproduct of that was something good for the country happened, cool. But I don't think at the end of the day, he really gives a shit. He's trying to make as much money as he can. And that's what I think this conflict in Iran, there's all kinds of business deals tied to it. Iran was not a threat. Joe Kent told us that. Tulsi Gabbard, who's still in a position in the cabinet, was asked point blank, and she said that no intel that they had said that they were a threat, but that Trump uses all kinds of different places, Israel, to get his information.
Like people, I've shared it with so many people, and some of them don't want to believe it. Like weapons of mass destruction.
Yeah, 2.0.
Bibi is on tape saying we need to get Iraq. They have weapons of mass destruction. He was their yeah, like was their inside guy. Like it wasn't some stupid news channel, and that's my opinion. But like I don't know. I don't think I fall for everything. Like I'm not falling for it anymore. Like we need to take down AIPAC, and then maybe our votes will matter.
What percentage, I'm going to ask you this question real quick. What percentage would you put on a possibility, because we got 3 years left with this dude, what percentage would you put as a possibility that Trump gets 25th in the next 3 years? I don't think it's zero, but I think it's close to, in my opinion, it's probably like 1 or 2%. But I'm curious where you think it would stand.
I think that
a lot of rumblings of him and JD Vance are not getting along. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that he would have to literally like blow up Iran. Like I don't know, right before this war started happening, I don't know if you followed into it, but for the first time ever, people were choosing Palestine over Israel.
Yeah, no, that's yeah.
I think that in itself, him claiming to do that, his tweet this morning claiming to be God, that he took that down now.
Do you think he's got signs of dementia?
If it's not dementia, I just like he's minimally not hearing the truth. Like, he's minimally being lied to.
We know that he loves to watch the news, and even Fox News is talking about how his numbers are low. I showed it last week, Marty, on the podcast. He's
looking slower.
He's polling lower than Carter was at the same point of his presidency. And Carter is unequivocally, arguably the worst president in history. And he's polling lower than Carter was 15 months in as of last week. How does he not see that? And how does he not feel some type of way about that?
Well, do you see his tweets?
His social posts are unhinged.
I think he does see them.
Unhinged. They're unhinged.
I think it's hilarious that one comes out like almost instantaneous after Iran drops a Lego meme on him.
Oh, those are.
Oh my God, them.
Those are. I mean, you don't gotta like Iran to like the Lego tweet.
No, you don't. And like, I'm not an Iranian supporter. Like, I believe that there are some people over there too that are doing some really bad things.
Agreed.
And but I look forward to them coming out. Like, I like watching them. They're funny.
How about the latest Alex Jones? Alex Jones has supported him staunchly for 10 years. And Alex Jones just pointed out the obvious, that he looks like he's missed a step. There might be some health issues, which is what we're talking about as two dudes right now. And Alex Jones knows Trump better than we do. And he's just calling these things out. And Trump just went scorched earth on him. And Jones is like, bro, like, you're going after everybody that supported you. Like, nobody's going to be left. That's the other thing. After in 3 years, that's why I think it's not zero. I don't think it's a 0% chance he gets 25th, because he just sends everybody to the curb.
He's gonna burn too many bridges, but I think the bridge that he stands on right now, it's the bridge. Like, that's the bridge we got to take out, and it's between America and Israel. Like, it should not be Israel first. We are not MAGA. We are like, I'm not even going to say MAGA anymore. We are make America first. Like, I want to be first. As an American, I want you to put me first. And really not even me, because I kind of think like I'm in a fortunate position to where I have checked myself out of the matrix, whatever you want to call it. Like, I really don't need much from them. I got pretty much everything that I need. I'm in it for my kids. Like, what am I leaving my kids, my grandkids? Because like what you say, like, money, it's what's money going to be worth in 2 generations? Are we still going to be making $7 an hour while a home is $1 million? Like that's I'm asked why I do it. That's why I do it, because like I was, hard with the taste. You want more money, work fucking harder. And then like my kids came to me and was like, dude, what do you want me to do? I'm working. I can't afford a house in New York. And that's a sad America. That's not the country that I want to leave my kids.
Sad state of affairs, man.
It is.
State of affairs. We're gonna wrap things up. We typically go about an hour. Marty, thank you so much for jumping on today. It was short notice. We literally just talked about this like less than 24 hours ago about doing this. So I really appreciate you taking an hour of your day to jump on and chat with me. Appreciate your support always, man. When you repost my stuff, I definitely appreciate it. I can't thank you enough when you do those types of things. Keep in touch, man. Will do. And I look forward to doing it again. Absolutely, buddy. I skipped my stories. Maybe we'll get them in next time. All right. You'll love the 5th grade story. I'll tell it. Okay. I'll share it somehow. We'll get you on again, and we'll have you share that story. All right? Awesome. Thank you. All right. Until next week. Until next week, guys. As always, don't trust, verify. Thanks for watching. Peace.